Wasn't expecting that. It's been a while.
Ow.
You can leave that in. You can just bleep it out.
No.
Bleep.
I'm not gonna, but
It cause beep.
Yeah, leave out the whole part of it.
Hey everybody, well, I'm not getting used to the underhand. Still not getting used to it.
Really?
Welcome to the Falcons
There you
Corner.
go.
Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickert. Good guy, the no call is Danny Berg.
And they're very energized.
And yeah, it's
I'm
early in the
I'm trying to get him up.
Triple threat Thomas is like,
I'm trying to get the voice going
on
here.
and behind
I know.
the camera.
Yeah.
And dancing and flailing his arms. He's
good
got
to
that
go.
new camera set up, and it's now on top of a table, on top of a table, on top of a seat cushion.
I didn't want to bring a desk over and put a chair on top of it, so I thought this might do a little better.
Well,
so.
this tripod is comfortable being on top of a chair cushion.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
You know.
Comfort.
comfortable sitting on one of those
Yes.
on my desk chair. I don't know what it is. I think I've been sitting in it so long. It's not old. It's a good one, but I think with the additional LBs pushing down, I might need a cushion to sit on.
I'm a big Seinfeld fan, and I can probably relate everything to a Seinfeld episode. Today's show was about nothing.
Yeah, right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just like when Jerry and George went into the NBC executives and said, we're going to
their
pitch
show.
a show about nothing. Nothing happens. No, nothing happens.
Yep.
Well, something's got to happen. No, nothing happens.
Nothing has to happen.
So something we had one game last week because of the weather.
We did.
Yeah, a women's basketball game against Montgomery out of Maryland.
Out of Rockville, Maryland. And what's funny is they wanted so badly to play. Their campus was closed due to weather. You know, we were like a pseudo remote, like because earlier in the day our kids weren't back yet. It wasn't really all that bad here. But they took the 4.5 hour trip and got here in about 4 hours and 45 minutes with a stop. So the weather didn't stop them.
No.
But yeah, that was
So we're
it.
thankful
That's all
for them
we
for
got.
making the trip, even though they handed to us a little bit. But you know,
They got to play.
Yep.
We got to play.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the women got to play. You know, the men have been off
Right.
for up on 10 days now, right?
Right.
I mean, the last time we played was what, 13th?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't play at all last week. Mother Nature rearing her, you know what?
Yeah. Well, maybe that'll make for a nice spring.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
But yeah, the women Montgomery Rockville unfortunately got a loss.
Was it 40?
It was 91-55, I believe was the final score, something like that. So
I put that in the.
you know, the women had a pretty good first quarter, but just couldn't shoot well enough to stay in the game.
Right.
And yeah, just ice cold.
Yeah.
And Montgomery kind of ran away with it.
Right.
So, but effort was there for sure. You know, everybody was still playing hard.
Yep.
And the Montgomery coaches, there was like some NEPA connections from the
Yeah, I was
coaching
talking
staff,
to
right?
one of the assistant scorekeeper and his family from Carbondale. And
Oh,
then-
really?
Yeah, and then one of the student managers wanted to know if this is where the office was situated. I was like, well, it wasn't situated here, but you know,
But we live it every day.
I was like, but some places, so they were going to Alfredo's, I think, to eat.
They did.
He was very excited
They
about
did,
that.
and got a text message from their head coach like 2.5 hours later that said, thank you so much for the hospitality. The food was amazing. Yes, I did. I did get a follow-up text.
All right, good.
Thanked us for pointing them in the right direction in terms of that. So
He was going to call DoorDash and have some Alfredo's brought here
Yeah.
to the union.
I think it was a Tuesday night, and it was just easier. They
So
could
they-
go that
so-
way. Ample parking.
Yep.
Sorry, Samarios. But ample parking for a very large bus that wouldn't have fit on Market Street.
Right.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, we just that's funny. I didn't know about the connection with Carbondale. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
he did.
There's always a connection.
There's always
you
a
know?
connection.
Yeah.
Cradle of civilization right here.
But our men and the men and women are back at it yesterday, which is today. So the results are here. Our women, here's our women's final.
And then here's
great
the
job.
men's.
And then here's the men's final. Another terrific job.
Right.
So you're finding out almost when we find out.
We hope.
Big games,
We're
Raritan.
We're into predictions. So
So
yeah,
hopefully it is that we have a little weather situation this morning. So hopefully, games stay on the schedule. We talked a little about that briefly before we went on air.
already
here,
talked,
but,
touch base with Raritan. We're looking pretty good, with the weather really not coming in like they thought it was going to earlier, and it being warmer and rain. So get them out on the road and get some games played. And I think, what's Raritan's men? Are they still at the top of the?
They're still the top of the heap right now, but our guys have won 2 in a row and are starting
much
to
better, and
playing a little better.
having Darryl
Obviously,
back, makes the offense run a little bit differently.
So,
like we talked about last week.
And while we don't win necessarily at Raritan, it seems like we've played some pretty good games the last couple years down there. So if nothing else, it should be exciting.
I'm gonna
So we'll
sit
see what
back
happens.
and watch the games.
And then the women, Raritan still, are they sitting like 2?
They're, I believe so. Yeah, they're ahead of Harcum, I believe.
They're ahead of
right
Harcum,
now,
right below Union. I know
but
Coach
like
Phil has them playing well too,
kind of a 3-horse race between those 3. But I think Union's just a little bit in front of everybody.
Maybe we could come in and play the spoiler.
You never know.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, for a change, right?
That'd be great to come in and
for
be
a
the
change.
spoiler.
And then if you want to see our Falcons, they will have a chance on Thursday
Yes, they do.
and
Doubleheader.
Saturday.
That's right.
Men and women doubleheader Thursday, Saturday.
Double headers against different teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the women have Herkimer on Thursday, and then Harcum on Saturday.
Right.
And the men, I believe we have Orange on Thursday.
And Region 19 makeup game from last week, Delaware Tech.
Oh, Delaware Tech on.
That's right.
At 3 o'clock.
Yes.
So a big Region 19 game.
Yeah.
As we're still battling between playoff position.
The only
positions and battling games.
the only region home game the men have
Right.
this side of the bracket.
And
or
it'd be
this
nice
side of
because
the
even though it is a
schedule.
weekend, we'll still have some people on campus. So, usually we get some more students out during the week. But
First
a
weekend of the
so
semester,
hopefully,
so
Hopefully they all don't go home.
yes, yeah.
Hopefully they're all
we'll
here.
have stuff too. And then continuing with our theme of nothing on the wrestling side neither because of weather.
Yeah. I mean, they were supposed to go to Bergen for a quad match, and that was one that I know they were really looking forward to. We only have 2 contests scheduled for this semester before the qualifier. It's such a tight window because you want to give them their rest, but they haven't wrestled in a while, which stinks because they would have ended up with multiple matches. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing over at Bergen. It was supposed to be Thaddeus Stevens, Bergen, and Rensselaer. We hosted them here last year.
Right.
But,
Right.
Unfortunately, that was canceled.
Right.
Trying to find a weekday for Bergen to be able to come here. Their schedule's kind of filled up on the weekends. We're going to Jamestown this upcoming Sunday, which will give an opportunity. It's not just a duel again.
It's an open.
So, they should get anywhere from, 3 to 5 matches or so, depending on how they do. It's a double elimination, so hopefully not just 2. But yeah, so it's, like you said, nothing. There was no wrestling.
Yep. No esports yet, right?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
that will probably start in February.
We did have to come to work though, so there was something.
We did.
Yeah.
And we worked. I can't say I didn't do.
Yes.
It's not like we did nothing.
Yes. And then
We did a lot of rescheduling and scheduling.
No
of these
athlete
things.
of the week this week because
No.
of the lack of events. So
No, yeah, we didn't want to. We didn't want to put an athlete of the week out there.
Coach Chesky, Coach Tyler.
Yeah. Coach Tyler coming through.
Come walk by this way. You could be on camera with us. No?
He's a behind the scenes
All
thing.
right.
No words.
All right.
No words. Just he's saying nothing.
Nothing. All right, so let's take a break. And we'll come back to be us, not Ferg, the athlete of the week because there's nothing.
Right.
All right. We'll be back in the Falcons corner. Take 5. We are back on the Falcons corner. That was something. That was better. I like that.
It.
That was nice. It's like you're an umpire. You're getting ready for baseball season.
Well done.
Yes. Voice of Falcons. We got the no SID. Triple threat Tom.
Do you, as a baseball guy, do you like an umpire that's very like demonstrative with his strike ball or strikeout call?
Not when I'm hitting.
No.
No.
Especially
if it's a strike 3.
You don't like to. Yeah.
No. Okay. I just if you're gonna call me out on third strike, then you just be calling back there, buddy. But on TV, I kind of like. I don't know.
I'm not saying Enrico Palazzo, but
I'm thinking I like when if they're in the moment and the timing's right and it's like a big one to like ring them up.
My problem was especially and I'll just go back to like when I played, especially playing first base a lot and even trying to beat out because I used to run fast. Umpires, I think, always had a tendency just for the big moment to call people out at first because they could punch them out.
Right.
And no one wants to be an exciting safe guy. They always want to be an exciting out guy. So I used to complain about that.
Right.
So I just don't like umpires. Just put it that way.
It's like basketball. It's like basketball officials calling charges. They, it's not exciting doing the chop. It's more exciting doing the
run down
with the head.
They're like this.
Yes. Speaking of officials, I probably saw the 2 worst officials. Worst JV high school basketball officiated game in the history of the sport last evening.
Okay.
It was awesome.
And we're moving on.
Well, no one's going to know. There wasn't that many people at the the game. No one there. Even though we have millions of viewers, I can guarantee none of them were at this contest.
Yeah. Okay.
It was.
Can't wait to hear about it after we're off camera.
I sat there with my dad and we laughed. It was hysterical. It was awesome.
I love it.
It was great. All right, so spring sports season is kicked in. They're here.
They're already practiced.
I know baseball practice Sunday. They've been in the weight room.
So softball.
They practiced yesterday. Softball practice Sunday. They're going to be in the weight room today with me. And they're rolling. Baseball ranked number 15 in the country.
Yeah.
I'm sure Coach McCarry's not happy about that after finishing top 5 in the World Series. And they kind of knew that because their meeting, Coach McCarry kind of just said we're probably going to be ranked 15th to 20th.
Is that what I said? That makes sense. I mean, we finished 4. You want to be top 10, I think. But not finishing in that top 4 is LSU Eunice, who was 54-2 last year and just got upset in the region thing. So they are one of the better ones. So I think you use that and be like, listen, we weren't even ranked last year. Look where we ended up. Think about what we could do.
Yeah. So they're kicked in full gear. Softball is not ranked, but it's early.
It's early. He's got a good number of girls that are here. Some good mid-year transfers too to go with. They had a great spring fall.
Right.
He said it was one of the better falls, and I think it's because they got so many of their games in and they performed well against a lot of the. I mean, we played NCAA Division II, Division I schools and held our own, if not beat them, and things like that. So I think that's exciting, and I think what's more exciting is we don't have to wait for each of them to start their season on spring break in March.
Right.
I mean, we're within 3.5 weeks.
Right.
The guys, the baseball's on the road, February 10th? Mm-hmm. Softball's hosting the 17th, and baseball's back on the road. So, I mean, they're getting right into it.
Right. Of course, weather permitting, because even though they're traveling south, baseball-wise, weather could be tricky down there, especially with some rain. And then softball will be on the turf at Mid-Valley, and then all they got to do is not have snow.
That's it, as long as it's above 35 or 38 or whatever the heck it is. And we won't be outside for that, Mr. Paparelli.
Right, but that'll be okay.
Yes. I was just going through their schedules and looking at who they're going to be playing down in Myrtle Beach when they make those trips down there and all the different schools. A lot of different opponents.
Right. I know that, speaking baseball schedule-wise, Florence Darlington was ranked in the top 15 or maybe top 20 Division I. So I know they're an early opponent on their way down. Wow. And then Brunswick, who they're playing down in the Myrtle Beach area at their place, received votes in the Division II poll.
Mm-hmm. Right. So not shying away.
Frederick is on the schedule too, and I think they were 19th or 20th.
They were in the World Series last year too.
So not back in there. You want to. It's like Coach Duda, and Coach Carey, and you want to be the best. You play the best.
Well, like you said, there's a lot of unknowns, like mid-year transfers, kids coming in that maybe are unknown yet as of who's going to kind of stand out. So and we didn't return a ton from last year. There's some kids obviously that played and played well, but there were still a lot of pieces to kind of replace and
there's one that needs to stand out, not just for leaving his ID in the student union for 2 days without anyone noticing. That's now in my pocket.
Right.
That will be delivered when I get home later.
Okay.
He needs to stand out for other reasons other than his leaving stuff behind.
Right.
All right. So that's a great show. Right?
I think we're done.
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're good. I mean,
sorry for
we'll have some media days coming up.
But sometimes I have it. It's been backed up.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to let it go.
Like my sewer in my basement.
That's right.
That get resolved yet?
It did for now.
Okay. Okay.
Until it happens in a couple weeks again. Yep.
All right. Yeah, that was a good show.
I think so,
All right,
too.
so best of luck to our Falcons. Come out and see them at the Union Thursday, Saturday. You're running out of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know,
we are.
especially, like I said, we got to do it in a mirror.
Thursday, Saturday,
Thursday-
next Tuesday, or next Thursday. I
think so,
February
yeah.
1st.
That's right.
We'll talk about that next week, too.
That's right. Looking forward to faculty and staff day. But
Right.
yeah, Amir's been playing really well.
Right.
They got Orange on Thursday. Orange has traditionally been very, very good.
Right.
And like Sullivan has usually handed it to us. So looking forward to that game.
Busy
and then,
week.
as we mentioned,
I
Delaware
didn't tell
Tech.
Amir yesterday that he looked better last week when he was going to be interviewed by you down in the weight room when he said he couldn't because he didn't look good enough than he actually did when he got ready to get interviewed.
My favorite part, Amir was great, by the way, obviously. It was a great interview. My favorite part in that interview, if you notice, was Amir was slowly drifting to the edge of the camera.
Yeah.
If we had gone 2 more minutes, he would have been off camera.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so come on and watch Amir because he's been putting up some some good numbers and a good quality player. So
Yeah.
come on and watch some good basketball, and then
That's it.
that's it. All right, great job.
I think so.
All right,
Following your lead, sir.
all right, we're out of here. We'll see you next week on the Falcons Corner. Take care.